And hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please help me welcome my exceptionally wonderful co-host, Michelle Marie of Astrological Tarot, who I have not been able to do shows with for months. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I missed you, and it's wonderful to be back on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
Ah, love it. Love it. I've been telling folks the last week, we got a date. We could finally do it. So it's yeah, fabulous. And all of a sudden, yeah, my throat decides that it wants to be a little silly. Thank you. And thank you, Jonathan. Love the new intro. The new intro is the genius work of Andrew Giorgio, who many of you have no idea who he is, and yet anytime you interact with me, you're interacting with him. Because he is the developer of the Andro-Nikki skincare line,
Oh,
which I love. And he is also the creator of my intro.
well
So
hypothesis.
yes, I think it's yeah. I am so in love with that intro. It's amazing.
That's
So yes,
skincare, which is beauty, and then music. That's Venus's territory. So he probably has
yes,
really strong Venus in his chart. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. So I will let you guys know right up front that yeah, we will do some readings. If you would like to enter for a chance to win a reading, please type in hashtag mucho because Michelle is in Mexico. So hashtag mucho. I'll be using the giveaway tool. That's going to determine who gets a reading. If you are picked as a winner, please post your question in right away because I'm only going to give you a couple shout outs to get your question in. And if you don't, I'm just going to move on to the next person because I'd like to be able to give as many readings as we possibly can. So if you miss your chance, okay, you miss your chance. There'll be other times. So in the meantime, though, I do have Michelle's contact info listed in the description of the video. So make sure that you go over there and you give her a like, share, and subscribe. Um, and Angie Burke says, what kind of question? Anything, a personal question, you could do a political question. The only thing that I ask is please do not say, what does spirit want me to know? Because I'm gonna get a little testy and I'm gonna tell you spirit wants you to go on a diet. So it's be specific. Um, you know, what does spirit want me to concentrate on in terms of finances for
Mhm.
2026? Something specific, right? Okay. So there's that. I think that I've gotten oh one more thing. One more thing. If you're interested in getting a reading, and um I strongly urge you to consider getting a reading with Michelle. The Vedic astrology gives you so much information about what is happening in your life, and it gives you a bird's eye view of some of the things that might be coming up. Once you're prepared for that, it's not as much of a shock or a surprise, and it gives you an opportunity to maybe put some things in place so that when it does happen, you can say, "Oh, okay, I got this. I got this." I would say, do this and that, right? So get in touch with Michelle for for a reading. And you can also go to my website, which is Marina's Heart Center Tarot. there you go, marinasheartcentertarot.com, and book yourself in for a reading directly on the website. Check out the classes that are on offer. Sign up for those. I also have gift cards. So if you think someone would benefit from a reading, you can purchase a gift card. It's all done electronically. They get notified, and they can then determine, if they would like to use the gift card towards a reading, towards a class, maybe a combination of both, whatever is available. So do go over and check out the website and see how things are. How things are on there. 2026 is going to be fabulous. Right? It is, yeah, fabulous. Okay. So quickly, gotta say hello to Dawn, Peacock Rainbow, Mary Avila, Innocent Potato, Milla Nord, Angie Burks, Lorraine, Luna's Montracy, Manx Girl, Marby Gangora, hello, and Bunny Young, and Jonathan Phillips, hello, and Jonathan Phillips, Debbie Smith, Angie's Gifts, Tiffany Tisdale, MG, and James Med, Michelle Krantz. Thank you all for joining us and for spending part of your afternoon with us. And Donna Hall Sullivan. Okay, I'll remind you guys that if you are a winner, post your question only if you are a winner. I'm not keeping track of anything. It's just, it's too much. It's too much. There. Okay. Now that we've done all that, woohoo, we can get to catching up. So tell us what's been going on with you. What excitement have you been up to recently?
Oh my goodness. Well, we moved to Mexico City from Puerto Vallarta, where we were at before, and we love it here. The Christmases here are amazing. We're going to be at the Three Kings Festival on Tuesday. It's just one of the safest cities I've ever lived in. It's almost 22 million people, which is over 22 million, which is like a Manhattan. It's a lot of people, a lot of energy, but the culture here is incredible. I love it. My Spanish is getting better by the day. And they're so sweet to help me with my verbs. And we had a bit of an earthquake hit us, but our building was okay. We just had some shelving and drywall issues, but other than that, we were all right. And we're dealing with the eclipses and the Saturn energy, but it's gonna be okay. The January and February is going to be a little dramatic for the collective because we have a lot of planetary wars going on, along with combustions, followed with eclipse season. So I'm going to be doing a lot of updates on my channel as well as remedies to help with that. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we kind of knew that this was going to be an exciting time when we got the news out of Venezuela. It's like, oh, it started.
And that was the start of the combustion in the planetary wars. And they're going to come to a peak on the 9th of January. So that's going to be interesting. And then the eclipses are on February 17th. And then we have another one on March 3rd. And then we have 2 more in August, which are going to bring a little something, along with some stuff going on in July. So I did a whole video on 2026 by sign, and so people can follow that. But it's going to be an interesting year. So you're right.
It is. And you know what? We have, I think that there will be surprises, but we've been preparing for the surprises. 2025 was very much a year where a lot of people went into kind of internal examination, right? Yeah. What am I looking forward to? What am I going to get rid of? What doesn't serve me anymore? And we've been making, decisions that that maybe 10, 12 years ago, we might have looked at and said, well, that's rather selfish. But it's not. It's there for our growth. So we did all the hard work in 2025. 2026 is going to be the year that I think we're going to be able to say, oh, that just happened. I won't tolerate that. And boom, right?
Oh, I'm going to be on Evelyn's channel, NDE podcast, later this week. And the whole thing is about the rise of the divine feminine in 2026. It's women
Yes.
just saying enough, putting their foot down and saying, yeah, you can't do that. So it's going to be that kind of year. And I'm really excited. And I'm seeing that a lot in my private readings, women really stepping out and empowering themselves and saying to a very patriarchal and toxic society that's come out of the last year, especially, and saying, not today, sir. I love that Kali energy, that strong female power, it's just, I love seeing it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, we've been taking baby steps towards this. I mean, not only the age of Aquarius, but yeah, the rise of the divine feminine, which let's face it, you can't have the divine feminine without the divine masculine. They work together.
Yes.
And in a perfect world, you have a very good combination of both, and each one plays to their strengths. We've sort of been forced over the last little while to see it more in terms of a win-lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
The masculine wins, we lose.
Mm-hmm.
If we win, the masculine loses, and so on. And we're getting so much closer to to having a nice dual balance.
Well, and with the rise of AI, intuition is going to be a superpower because machines don't have that. They can't develop it. They can develop the intellect, which is,
Yes.
We have a little bit of both, but according to Vedic philosophy, women just inherently, because it's in tune with the moon, which is feminine energy, tend to have more of intuitive bent than the divine masculine. And so finding our superpower amidst this highly, highly intellectual, kind of low EQ energy compared to the high IQ intellectual energy, which is just as important. And then finding our footing amongst that, I think, is what our superpowers women are going to be, and people who are really into that divine feminine flow,
Yes.
so to speak. It could be any gender, but
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So there's I have been looking forward to 2026 since probably June or July. And it's like, oh, come on, like it's here. A lot of it, I'm noticing that people are kinder. People are more accepting in a lot of ways. They're becoming a little more vocal. So even those who in the past might have, for the sake of peace, kept their opinion to themselves, now, and not in a very, aggressive way, but now are saying, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this? Because, they're a lot more open to the communication and so on.
Well, it's important to be assertive when expressing your truth and saying, this isn't political, this is moral, and let's talk about that.
Yes.
And let's look at your faith. What does your faith say about this? And
Yes.
just really doing so in a gentle way, but also in a straightforward way. And holding people accountable for their views and the repercussions that those views cause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's, I know, that I've had to let go of some friendships, in long-standing friendships, because of that. Because coming to the realization that yeah, it isn't political. It is moral.
Yeah.
It is, you know, kind of decision making time. So anyway, yeah, that's been interesting. And what are you seeing astrologically? What are some of besides the eclipses, some of the things that we're kind of going to need to?
Well, just for this month, because that just kind of prepares us for the energy of the moment, because we have a lot going on right now, is we have some key conjunctions and some planetary wars going on. So from January 2nd to the 10th, Venus and the Sun are going to be very close together. So Venus will be combust, and Venus is going to go to war with Mars January 6th through the 10th as well. That's going to highlight a lot of relationship and desire dynamics. So you mentioned people stepping into power, being more assertive, speaking truth to power. So the sun is challenging that divine feminine energy, and so is Mars. And it's our duty to step up and step out. And then January 9th through 11th, Mars and Sun are going to form a conjunction, which is called a combustion. And that's good for motivation, but we need to watch for any, impulsivity, things like that. And then January 17th through 19th, Mercury and Mars are going to go to war, and that's going to bring mental tension, arguments, especially in the workplace and things like that. The best way to determine how these wars are going to affect your chart, especially in the sidereal Sagittarius, until the mid month, and then it's going to be in sidereal Capricorn for the second half of the month, is to see what house they fall in. And if you don't know your Vedic astrology, I have a free calculator on my site, astrological.com. So astrologicaltarot.com. And you can just go ahead and put your information in and follow along. But lots of planetary wars, lots of confrontations. Late January, we're going to have Mercury and Venus go to war. And then the 27th through the 31st, that's going to emphasize a lot of communication and love and finances as well. So lots of upheavals. So that mid-January, Capricorn, to up until mid-January, we're going to hit the Capricorn energy. And then that's going to be a good time to focus on our career, our long-term goals, our practical planning. If you're not happy with the situation you're in right now, this is a good time to really take some action and really plan moving forward, because this is just my logical opinion. This a year and a half ago when I saw the eclipse in April of, I hear background noise too. There's some feedback. But there we go. Anyway.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I was telling Michelle earlier, I have a new camera and microphone thingy that my son gave me for Christmas, and I love it. It's fabulous, but I'm learning how to work with it. And okay, and Lorraine says the feedback is preventing me from understanding what Michelle is saying. Okay, I do have the background noise. I do have it turned off, or let me see, the audio. I do have echo cancellation on. I do have the reduce the microphone background noise. So I don't know. Okay, sounds okay now. Thanks.
I think it's when I talk. I don't know. But yeah, but the best time is January 8th. We're going to have a moon in Capricorn, Uttara Ashada, and that's a good time to, plant seeds for your professional and personal growth. So that's a really good moon to do that. And, any remedies if you're struggling, a really good mantra that you can do is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And that's a very powerful mantra. It creates kind of a psychic shield around you, and it can ease some of the mental tension and help you meditate as well. So, and then Yeah. And then just focusing on
That is
discipline,
beautiful.
patience, self-reflection, that can help us with divorce.
Perfect. Okay. Good. Definitely gonna give that one a try. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love your meditations and your chants because they're always so it's so gentle, it's so soothing, right? So fabulous, fabulous. Okay, all
So you're
righty.
saying the feedback is me, so it sounds like the speaker on your side is hitting it. So
Oh,
I'm trying to. Are you guys still getting feedback? One, two, three.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute my mic and let Michelle speak, and let's see if
Oh, it's okay. Okay. So how are we sounding now, guys? Okay. Okay. I'll just give you guys another mantra. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devyasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. And that is Gayatri mantra, and that's a very good one that you can do to help with the couple of months' energy as well. So much better. Okay. So we'll just mute back and forth.
yeah. Hey, that's all right. And Hypnicity wants to know what language is that? That
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit. Yeah. And there's for those of you that like the chanting and like it kind of in music form, I really love Diva Pramal.
Mhm.
And yeah, I can put on her CD, and when I just want to relax into me, yeah. And I find myself, yeah, singing and chanting along, and it's great. So yeah, let me see if I have it here. The one, the one. Yeah, there you go. Here's one of the one of the CDs. And yeah, Diva Pramal. Um, fabulous. Fabulous. And currently buffering. Okay. Not sure what we can do about that, but let's get going. And
I went ahead and put in David Pramal's YouTube channel. So
excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All righty. Are we ready to do some want to do some readings? Let's do it. Let me just move things out of the way so that
oh, Irene, yes. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We all Vedic astrologers worship Ganesha because he's the ruler of Jyotish and Vedic astrology. So I love that you know that one.
okay. Let me bring up the what is that? The fickle finger of fate. Okay. So we'll pick three. And like I said, if your name is one of the ones that pops up, put your question in right away. Be specific. You're not being helpful to yourself, or when you ask a very broad question. What does spirit want me to know? Be specific. Okay. And I'll give you a chance to post your question in. I'll give you half a minute or so. And if I don't see it in there, then we'll just move on to someone else. I'm going to try to run a little bit of a tight ship, you guys. Okay. All right. Want to get to as many of you as I can. So starting us off on this wonderful journey with readings, we have Lorraine R. Lorraine, please post your question in right away. Put it in all caps if you can. That way it gets my attention. And after Lorraine, we have Manx Girl. And after Manx Girl, we have, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Maria A. Okay. So you guys, please post your question. Lorraine is already gotcha. Perfect. And okay, so waiting on Manx Girl and Maria. Put your question in. Going. Okay. All right. Manx Girl and Maria, nothing? Okay. I'll give you another 10 seconds, you guys. And then yeah, I'll be pulling 2 more. So 5, 4, 3. Okay. Any messages? Okay. So that's from Maria. Manx Girl? Nothing? Alrighty. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. That's. There we go. And then we have Donna Hall Sullivan. Donna, put your question in. Okay. And in the meantime, I will give yeah, I do see Connie's question. Yeah. Connie, sorry. I do see Maria's question. Yes. Okay. So Donna Hall Sullivan, do your question. I'm going to keep track here. And oh, I want us to be. There we go. Okay. Oh, the joys of all this background stuff. So let's start with Lorraine R. And Lorraine says, should I move in with my boyfriend in the fall like he wants me to? We are both nurses, a nurse of these, and he did give me a beautiful ring for Christmas. Well, okay. And then I think she mentioned that they're both in their 70s. Oh, honey, go for it.
Oh,
go
that's awesome.
for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I got some good cards in and around this energy. The first one I got was you both need to take a little rest because you are very busy with your jobs, especially mental rest. So take some time out for some relaxation, some meditation, maybe go on a retreat so that you can recover. And because you don't want to burn out, especially, you know, with a job as intense as yours. Then what I got was the Temperance card. Now, I love this card because this is all about balancing your inner and your outer world. The sun represents the ego, and the moon represents, I can still hear the background a little bit. The moon represents your inner self, your emotional self. So you really need to take out time to balance this area because you both are, woo, especially I'm getting your energy, just go into nesting mode right now, especially after all of the activity that you've been going through. What I did get just overall was a really good card, and it is the Three of Pentacles. So what that tells me is that, if you guys collaborate and you find a place that really, really works well for you, like if his place feels really good, then do that. If your place feels great, do that. You might want to actually look for a place together that fits both of your needs when I get this card, because this
Yes.
is all about, cooperating with a third person and maybe finding a place that is close to both of your work and that works for you. So
Yes.
that's what I got. And then what I got was about your union in general was, I can really hear background, sorry. Okay, I think that's a little better. Okay, so, oh, no. Maybe try muting on your side, and then I'll mute when you go. We can figure it out. Okay, so this is Vyasa. He's in the Mahabharata, and this indicates that, this is something that you guys can do together. You can meditate, you can do some spiritual practices together, and that's really going to help you tap into those beautiful creative powers and exploring the realms of your imagination. And when I got this card, it tells me that you might find the perfect place for both of you and find answers for that in meditation. That is the best place to go for those aha moments. Like almost every place that my husband and I have chosen to live, we got some kind of vision. The vision of this place in Mexico City came about 10 years ago. So it was, when we saw it, I went, this is it. And it's the same house number as where I met Jonathan. So it's like, yeah, it was meant to be. So new ideas, new ventures. I highly recommend you look at places together and move into a place that's kind of new, where you can start new memories and new creative, how do I say this? They're like, they show me like you're holding hands and you're going to different cafes together. You're exploring the neighborhood. You're creating new memories. And so you're leaving the memories behind at your place, and he's leaving them behind at your place. And you're really able to make the most out of it together. But I love the fact that you guys both have the same career, and that's really going to open up a lot of avenues for you. So, yeah, it sounded like a woman talking over the telephone. Yeah. So I'll mute and then we'll just go back and forth, and hopefully that works. Sorry about that, guys.
There you go. Yeah. I may end up going back to the old system. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So Lorraine, what I got for you is patience and delays. So, you don't have to make a decision by midnight tomorrow. It's not one of those special deals where it expires. You can take a little bit of time, think about it, look around, um, do what you need to do to find something that is going to be beneficial to both of you. Strength is needed, and I think with this, you mentioned you're willing to try and he's not. Okay, you know, when you're at at your at your stage in life, you want to be able to make some decisions and do some things that are going to be beneficial to you. So, if strength is needed, it is because you need to find your voice and say, okay, you know what? This is what we're going to have to do, right? So, I also got relax. Don't stress. Okay, do not stress. So you're take your time in being patient in terms of the things that are going to come in. And yeah, you've got time. You've got time. And just remember that you can, if you're thinking about moving into together, later on in the year, fine. Lots of things can happen between now and then. You never know. Yeah. He he won't try meditation. Well, yeah. Sometimes, if you put on soothing music and you're just sitting there and you're just being quiet, he may be meditating without realizing it. There you go. All right. I hope that is beneficial for you. Okay. Donna Hull, have not seen any questions from Donna Hall. So, okay, we'll go to Maria and then we'll pick a couple more. And the decks actually that I'm using are the personal predictions. This is by Trish James. And the other deck is the Chris James signature deck. So I'm a little bit of a fan of the Trish James decks. Okay. All right. And Maria says, yeah, any message about my 2026? Huh?
Okay. Well, I was wondering who this was for, because I said, for the next person, go ahead and give me some cards. You got a little drama you're coming your way, but you're going to be okay. So I'm going to start with that. I got the Justice card. This is going to be the outcome. Okay, so this is about truth, structure. You might have to do a little paperwork, look into some legal things. Some accountability and ethics are going to be the theme of 2026 for you. So there's going to be some balance and some truth. So that's the first thing. So work on that throat chakra as you start 2026. And as Marina said, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, because it's that time of year. All right. Then I got the Knight of Pentacles, and he came up reversed. So I said, what is this about? What is this Justice card coming up for? And this is an unexpected situation due to poor planning from a masculine form, someone who's been kind of irresponsible with financial things. Okay, so it's important that you really practice grounding exercises, especially regarding the finances this year. And this is going to be able to balance those things out. So I asked what the main cause of this energy was. Like, where's this energy coming from? How is it entering your sphere? Okay. I got the Three of Cups reversed. So it's really important that you focus on good satsang this year. What's satsang? Satsang is Sanskrit for good company, keeping people in your circle and in your calendar, so they aren't wasting your time, that are on the same path as you, that have alignments and goals that are compatible. When you are in the right group of people, it's about hospitality and friendship. It's give and take. You can celebrate, the good times together, and then you can support each other through those harder times. When I get this, it tells me that there's someone in and around your group, could be more than one person, that does not have this emotional connection or communication, especially regarding finances and being responsible and accountable for their actions. Okay, so this is something to just be very wary of. So then I went to my Mahabharata oracle, and it revealed this person, and it's a masculine energy, and it's a trickster. Okay, so this is Sakuni. Sakuni was famous in the Mahabharata for he had some magic dice that he made out of his father's bones, and he was able to get them to come out to whatever outcome he wanted. And he tricked Yudhishthira, the king of the land, into a game of dice because he had a weakness for gambling, and he gambled away his kingdom, and that was the start of the Great War of the Last Age. And so what happened was he was a cheater. It's kind of like someone who comes into a situation and causes betrayal, usurps resources, kind of turns everybody's lives upside down. So it's important that you get this person in and out of your sphere this year. 2026 is about speaking your truth and demanding justice for how you spend your time, your money, and your resources. And really cleaning house here, because it's important that we don't succumb to any falsities and lies, because they're really being encouraged by certain leadership positions right now. And they're allowing a lot of the more toxic patriarchal forms to be emboldened and to try to use trickery in order to take advantage of our beautiful divine feminine energy. Okay, so it's important that you set very clear boundaries this year. You pay attention to who's in your spheres and circles, and that you don't be fooled into believing things that can grant you long-lasting happiness that aren't real. Okay, so that's the main warning I have for you in 2026, and this goes for the divine feminine in general, because the next couple of years are all about standing up for who we are, especially intuitively, and also be aware of people that are using AI to communicate with you, because it may not be real. They could be just manipulating the circumstances as well. And that goes for everyone in the chat. So I hope that was helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the cards that I got out, and it came out in the previous reading, was relax, don't stress. You know, sometimes it's a stressful situation when we try to make something happen rather than just allowing it to happen, and to happen organically. So what I got for you was happiness, high vibe, which is, yeah, absolutely. You want to be in that place, Maria, where things are going, well, where you're looking after yourself and you're giving yourself the opportunity to be the best possible version of yourself that you can be. Okay. There is some discontent and loss. And I think with that, it's, you're recognizing that there are some people in your, yeah, like Michelle said, there are some people in your life that really are, they're draining your energy. They're not enhancing your life. They're not enhancing their journey. It's like they're hanging on to, to your coattails as you're moving forward, and you're dragging them with you, when what they need to do is they need to do the work. They need to do the work to be on the same path that you are. So, look at it as an opportunity to changing directions. That, when we say no to something that someone wants us to do, we don't have to be nasty, right? We don't have to say, bring attitude with it, right? We simply say, no, thank you. And that's it. And move on. You don't have to explain yourself when you say no. It's it is a complete sentence, right? You don't have to justify yourself. And then pulled another card, and I got do the work, reward for effort. So what you have been working towards, what you're going to put the effort into this year, is where you're going to get your rewards. So you kind of have to ask yourself, okay, I know that it's hard when we're in relationships, to, ideally, yes, we do. We communicate with the other person. We take the other person's feelings into consideration and whatnot. That's what makes a good union, is when people work in tandem. If, however, you're finding that you're the one that is always giving in to someone else's demands, and that's not an equal relationship, that's not an equal exchange of energy. And then, you kind of have to make some decisions along the way with that. But I think you're going to be you're going to be learning some things. You're going to be making some decisions in 2026, and just remember that this is your journey, right? It ultimately, at the end of the day, when it comes time to answer for anything, it's going to be Maria that's doing it, not the people behind you. They're not going to be there. So, yeah, make your decisions kind of based on that. So, I hope that was helpful. Okay. And I will let me hide that. I will mention, and I'll mention it again. When we started the show, I said, if you are a winner, post your question in then. Do not post your question in beforehand, because I'm not going to keep track. Because it's, this isn't easy. So, and I did say post it in right away. Now, I do have, Donna Hall Sullivan. So, will your daughter adopt a baby? I will read on that. For those who have asked, was my name called? I'm not going to wait for you to post your question whenever you happen to get around to it. When we choose the next 3, you're going to have time. I'm going to give you a minute to post your question. If you don't do it in that time, I'm going to move on, because I want to do as many readings for as many people as I can. While I'm waiting for you to decide what it is that you want to put in, someone else is losing a reading. Okay? So here we go. Let's take a look for Donna and find out, will Donna's daughter adopt a baby? Okay. All right. If you got cards, go ahead, Michelle.
Okay. The main thing you're going to want to look at is the finances behind this. Because I got the second house. The second house is a Donna house. It's a wealth-giving house. And so making sure that you've got a spreadsheet ready, because I know adoptions can be very expensive. And raising a baby is very expensive, or whatever age she decides to adopt. I've looked into it. I'm not there yet. So when it comes to adoption, it's very important that she look into the finances. Now, this is the main energy that I got in and around this, and this is temporary. I'm going to repeat, temporary. I got that her self-efforts are not going to be successful if she keeps going the direction that she's going right now. Okay, this is all about excess responsibility, but when it's reversed, it's release or delegation to someone else. She needs to find a person, a professional, to help her on this path. Delegate the responsibilities to someone who can really handle this and knows the adoption agencies and what to do moving forward, because she's going to be feeling like she's kind of banging her head up against the wall, trying to get things to go through, the paperwork to work, the finances in line. So it's important that she hires someone. The reason I say that was I went to my Mahabharata oracle and I got the dedication card. This is very good. This tells me that she's very dedicated to making this happen. But it's also about giving yourself to something or someone toward a purpose or cause. So she's putting on the blindfold and she's trusting the professional to handle this. So this is a divine calling for her, but she needs to take a back seat and let a professional who
Uh-oh. Are we still here? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I hope that Michelle comes back, and yeah, it happens. It's one of those things, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Mir says maybe we're invading Mexico. Well, why not? All right. Hopefully, Michelle will be able to come back. Okay. But while we're waiting for her, um, I think that um, I think that I'll go ahead, Donna. Um, this is I think that will they adopt a baby? Yes, maybe not this year. It could possibly be at some point next year. There are things that need to open up, and there are some things. Ah, there we go. Hey, that's okay. It happens.
Okay, well,
So,
where did I cut off?
I think you cut off when you were saying about her daughter making some choices where she's going to need to let the professionals.
Yeah, that's the main reading, is that they will open up a lot of doors for her to make the adoption successful, and that she needs to not just rely on her own efforts but involve a professional, and then also look at the resources. But congratulations, and I can't wait to hear.
Perfect. Yeah. And I had just started, and I had said that yeah, I do see them adopting a baby, possibly not this year, maybe next year. And that um, everyone wants this to happen, but everyone isn't doing all the work that they need to make it happen, because they're assuming that someone else is picking things up. Okay. So um, you you need balance. You need to um, don't stress out about it. And one of the things that came to mind is um, for a couple who has been trying for years and years and years to have a child, and they can't get pregnant, and all of a sudden they adopt, and guess what, she's pregnant with triplets, right? It's when you stop worrying about something. Is this going to happen? Yes, it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? When the time is right, and it's going to happen in universal time, not your time. So for now, you need balance. I think your daughter may need a little bit of balance as well. Protect your energy. Know that what it is that you're putting out is what's going to come back to you. So um, you know be diligent in the work that you're doing. Follow up with things. Okay. And I love this other side. There are yeah um, that signs from heaven. There will be um, there will be things that signs that are going to come up that you're going to be able to look back on and go, ah, okay, I know what that was. I know what that was. So be patient, and yeah, opportunity, new doors. So there is going to be opportunity, but I still think that there's a bit of a lesson in terms of your daughter needing to learn something that yeah, she desperately wants a child, and I say this with as much love and compassion as I can, but your daughter, and does she want a baby because she really wants a baby, or does she want a baby because everyone else is having? So that's kind of the path that you maybe you need to concentrate on. You need her to make that distinction, and then things will fall into place. So that's what I've got, and I hope that was helpful. Okay. Okay. Let's do. So far, we've only done like 3 readings, so we'll pick 3 more. And I will remind you, if you are a winner, post your question in right away. Okay? And so here we go. We'll draw again. And we've got hypnicity. Hypnicity, please post your question. And if you can, please do it in all caps so that I can see it better. Okay. And after hypnicity, we have Laura Ware. All right, Laura, post your question. And then, next one is MGG. Alrighty, you guys, post your questions. And, okay, hypnicity, gotcha. Okay, and all right. And, gotcha, MGG, Laura Ware. Laura Ware. Post your question. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll start with hypnicity. And how can I support my stepson Ben and his 2 kids in 2026? They live in my home. Claire, 5-year-old girl, and Spencer, 10-year-old boy. We aren't super close. Okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead, Michelle.
Oh, okay. I didn't see us come up on the screen, so there. Oh, okay. Okay, hypnicity, aka Nalani. I got the 10 of Wands reversed. So this tells me that you need to take a step back. It is not your responsibility to raise the kids. Okay, that is their responsibility. And so just you can be the fun one. Is what I get from this. Have fun being the fun one, the one that goes, hey, let's go out for ice cream, or hey, you could be that's the joy of being kind of like a pseudo grandparent, is that you get to have fun with this. Okay, so it's not your responsibility to be the disciplinarian. It's not your responsibility to really hold the cards here. Okay, you don't want to burden yourself with this. So they're just saying, let it go. The reason I say that is that I did get the Wheel of Fortune, but it came up reversed. So it's not your job to offer support outside of what you're already doing. Okay, so if you can just bring a little bit of, just joy and fun to the relationship, and you're already doing the support role, that is all that's needed. That's the main thing that I got from this, because when this comes up upside down, it tells me that there's something out of balance, and that it's not your job to step in and rebalance it, because you've already raised kids. You're done. Okay. So I got some really great energy around what you can do for just the energy of the family in general. And I got energetic movement. So there's going to be a lot of high levels of energy and movement that's going to help you, work with your family. And this energy's vibration is that when you add a lot of positive energy to the dynamic, that things are going to go at a much faster rate. So the guides are advising you that things may end a little bit quickly, the old dynamic, and open up a new one. And they're really saying, let go, don't put too much effort into what's coming, because it's your job to allow this new energy, this new exciting, more positive energy to come in. So this is going to be a very action oriented time. So begin to engage in these new opportunities as they come. Now, the second one I got the acceptance card. And this is all about just great freedom and just accepting things the way they are, kind of taking a back seat, looking what's going on, saying, you know what, I'm going to love you without judgment, live without these predetermined opinions, and just accepting and expressing yourself in the dynamic without any attachments or, how do I say this? Expectations. Okay, so your ego is going to align with your soul here, and that's a relief, because you don't have to control anything, you don't have to fix anything, you don't have to know anything, because these are not your children. You're just providing a support structure, and you're kind of bringing that lighter energy into the dynamic. So your contentment with each other is going to improve dramatically when you harness your ability to just look at the world from a very spiritual perspective and kind of take a back seat. So don't focus on the importance of your own thoughts or beliefs in the situation, because you have so much beauty and bounty in your life that when you open this, it'll open you up to accepting that beauty that resides in you and what you can offer to the dynamic, which is a really great thing. And I love that for you, Milani. So the third card I got is really, really good. I got the joy card. This is all about celebrations. That's why I said take them out for ice cream. You have a little fun. I love, there's a lingam here. This represents marriages and celebrations. And joy happens when our heart and our soul unite. And this is about expansion, really following your own divine path, even when life can be in flux, and knowing that the highest good is going to happen for all involved. And again, taking that back seat, because even if there are going to be some difficult circumstances this year, you will ultimately find your happiness. Okay, so this card is really acknowledging you to release any stress or exhaustion around the dynamic and work to adapt those new patterns of behavior that I mentioned earlier, to release those old stories and let in some new energy. Because I tapped into it a little bit, especially with the reversed Wheel of Fortune, and it's not as happy as it can be right now. So you can experience joy in knowing that when you are confronted with these difficult situations, it's not your job to fix them. That's what they keep telling me over and over again, because you're urged to realize that you came into this lifetime to undergo certain experiences and learn very specific life lessons. And a very wise oracle once told me, stop carrying other people's baggage, aka Marina. So it's your job to just be honest with yourself, allow yourself your feelings and emotions, and remember that your energy and your inner light is going to shift to reveal what you want to do in your life and your own grand plan. And it's a little separate from the dynamic, but what you can do is just honor your energy and let go of any anxieties right now, and joy will be the outcome. So that's the main thing, is you're going to be releasing some stuff in order to let this new energy in. And I see it as a really beautiful phase for your relationship moving forward with the family dynamic. Hope that was helpful, sweetie.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. My cards basically echo that. Okay. It's I get block out the chaos. So yes, right now there's a lot of things in flux. There's a lot of things that they're doing for the first time. There's a lot of things that are you know in motion, different things that you have to consider, or that your son has to consider, in terms of last minute changes in picking up the children for something, and so on and so forth. You're You are providing a safe environment, a safe place for them to operate out of. And that is basically all that you need to do, because yeah, like Michelle said, these are your grandchildren. These are not your children. They are somebody else's to raise. They somebody else needs to make decisions for them. So, when it looks or it feels like there is a lot of turmoil or something going on, don't let yourself get wrapped up in that chaos. Just sit back. Sit back. Not my job to figure out how to get them from point A to point B. That's somebody else's job. And it's also a lesson that your son and his children are learning. And if you're too quick to come in and save them, you deprive them of the opportunity to learn the lesson. Whether it could be them, it could be the ex-spouse, it could be anyone. So just remember that. Okay. You are success and celebration. You will have an opportunity to to look back and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, this is great to get through this, to ultimately what you want is you want to see them be successful in their own home, in their own life, in their own thing. That could be coming, maybe quicker than not, because I also got big news. So something is going to change. Something is going to come in, but you're celebrating, so it tells me that it's something good. I also got favorable outcome. So whatever it is that your family is working on in terms of moving forward and getting some stability and so on, that there is going to be a favorable outcome to that. I also got patience. It will take time. So, it will take time. It could be 3 months. It could be 6 months. It could be 3 weeks. It could be 6 weeks. So just go with the flow, be patient, make steps forward to do what it is that you need to do as a grandmother, not their mom. You're not their mom. They do have parents, and they need to rely on those parents. So I think I wholeheartedly agree with Michelle in terms of, you be the fun one. You be the one that says, hey, kids, who wants to have pancakes for supper? Who wants to go to the park? Let's go do this. Let's go do that. So, yeah. But I do think that things aren't going to get better. So, I hope that was helpful to you. Okay. And then we've got Laura, who says, will the monks walking for peace from Texas to DC be safe in DC? Okay. All right, Mir. Thank you. Good night. And
Okay, well, I got that there's going to be a little bit of a lack of cooperation, which is understandable given some of the things that have empowered the collective toxic patriarchy Reich kind of culture in America, like Los Estados Unidos. So they could come across some people that don't agree with what they're doing. But the main thing that I got was they are being divinely protected, because I got the King of Wands. And what this tells me is that they are, how do I say this? They are spiritual leaders that are self-confident, they're inspiring, they're in tune with who they are and their purpose, and they have a very good leader and negotiator among them. So even though there's going to be a little bit of a lack of cooperation from certain people and various organizations who believe that the United States should only be a Judeo-Christian nation, which is what Project 2025 supports, and they think that anything else is evil, which is wrong, that they are standing in their truth, they're standing in their light, and they're backed by a very powerful energy. So I went to my Mahabharata and I asked what kind of energy this was. Now, this is Gatotkacha. So he's half demon, half human. And he was able to take the side of light in the Mahabharata, or the side of the Pandavas, and he did a lot of really great things for Dharma, which is being on the right side of history. So this tells me that there is someone in their midst who is going to calm down any of the protests or things that are coming in their way. And this is a very powerful backer, because this is a very indomitable spirit who understands both sides of the equation. He's both the more, how do I say this, ignorant, dogmatic side, which he was born into, but then he came into light because his father was on the other side of things. And so this tells me that they will have a lot of supporters, good supporters at their disposal, to help combat that non-cooperative energy that's going to try to stop them on their march. They're going to provide a lot of support and aid to them, and they're going to dissolve a lot of the negativity that's standing in their way. And they're going to be confronted with some distress, some difficulties, but that's part of their journey. That's going to embolden their spirit as that beautiful King of Wands energy comes out. For the overall aspect of it, I got the Justice card. So they're going to be just fine. They're going to be protected by the laws of Dharma. This is a very tumultuous time in the United States history, because we're going through what's called the Yama return, the Pluto return. It started during COVID and it ended in 2024, February of 2024. And so we are stepping into a new constitution, a new way of living and being. And that was revealed by the eclipse in April of 2024, April 8th. And that's when Project 2025 came out, and it's backed by trillionaires. So it's important that if you're still in the United States, that you support the people that are being subjugated or unfairly treated by these laws. If they come through your town, if they're doing a fundraiser or some way to help combat this uncooperative energy, if you feel like in your heart that you are being led to support their cause, please do so, because that is a great way to step into your own Dharma and combat the more eclipse-like energies that Project 2025 came out of, and involve that more inclusive, beautiful, spiritual collaboration that's going to ultimately overpower the darker, more dogmatic energies that are going to come against these beautiful souls that are marching for peace. So I hope that was helpful, sweetie.
Fabulous. Thank you, Michelle. I pulled from two different decks, and it's funny how they speak to each other. So the reason that they are currently walking is that they are pointing out the consequences of bad choices. They're not rallying and saying off with their heads. They're just a physical manifestation of what happens when you make bad choices, right? So, and why are they doing that? Well, to level up. It's progression, right? So they are bringing to light the things that we all feel need to be brought up. It's just sometimes it's hard to do that when you're in the middle of it, right? It's like someone, a family member gives you advice, and you disregard it, and then all of a sudden a friend of the family comes in, tells you exactly the same thing, and you go, oh, what a revelation. So that's kind of what their purpose is. I then got strength is needed, in that they're very focused in what it is that they're doing. They know why they are doing what they are doing, because they recognize that they're going to encounter battles and disagreements. They're fully prepared for that. They're not doing this in order to change anyone's mind. They are shining a light on the issue. That's what they're doing. That's what they're marching for, is to shine a light on that issue. And it's up to each and every one of you that encounters them or sees them to decide what side of the light you're going to be on, where it is that what is happening aligns with your morals. Okay. I then got treat yourself, which is, know that see this as a positive, see their march as being something positive, and send out good vibes. That they know that they're protected. They know that they're protected. That is part of the faith, part of the understanding with the universe, part of knowing what it is that we put out that we get back. They're not under any illusions. And what is this going to do? Well, they're doing it for knowledge and more information. They are sharing their knowledge, their past, their part of their history with everyone that they encounter. It is totally, absolutely up to you how you take that information in, what you're going to do with that information. They're telling you a story. Their presence is there to kind of see things in a particular way. They're not demanding that anyone change their opinion, or take up weapons or what. They're just saying, hey, we're marching for peace. That's what we're doing. It's a peaceful thing. So yes, and it is. It's a very beautiful question, Laura. I know that you had asked it previously, so I'm glad that the machine picked you. Thank you. Okay. And we'll go to MGG, who says, hi, any information about the house building or job business opportunity? Please, whatever you are inspired to speak on. Thank you so much. Any information about the house building or a job business opportunity? All righty. Well, okay. All righty. Go ahead, Miss Michelle.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I got was Jupiter. So this is a card of blessings, and he is actually in Gemini right now, which rules the third house. And so what this tells me is that really communicating what you need via contracts, emails, everything, because the really crazy thing that is going on in the sky right now is we have a lot of planetary wars, combustions, etc. But right opposite that is Jupiter. He's aspecting all of this stuff. So in developing your communications, crossing those T's, dotting those I's, and not being afraid to really dive into what needs to be said is going to help you right now. And then look at where Sidereal Gemini is in your chart, because that'll tell you where your superpower is. I got that you're healing from some betrayal right now. Okay, that's what they're telling me. So this needs to be addressed a little bit so that you can open yourself up to those beautiful opportunities in and around the actual energy of both of these projects. I got intuition. This tells me that you're a little psychic, my dear, which I love. And that when you tune in with the energies, that beautiful ajna chakra, which is that third eye that we develop through, meditation, keeping good satsang, doing our prayers or mantras, tapping into spirit and guides, however, whatever practice that you follow. They're really encouraging you to step into that because that's going to help you intuitively pick out the do's and don'ts here. And when I get Brihaspati third house, he's the guru. So that tells me you're going to be getting some messages from the spirit realm as well. So these are channels of communication that will provide themselves to synchronicities, signs and symbols, your dream world, channeling, any type of unfolding mental ability that does not come from the intellect. So that is how you are going to move forward with a lot of this. This is a form of super conscious communication. So you're going to enter a period of your life where you're going to see a lot of synchronicities. You're going to be getting a lot of signs from spirit. So pay attention to these signs and symbols to guide you. And your inner awareness will not only be heightened, but you'll be more psychically tuned and you'll be looking for answers in other departments as well as you tap into this. Okay. The overall thing that you need to be cautious of was I got the ambition card. Now, this is Satyavati, and she allowed her ambitions to, especially her mental and intellectual ambitions, to override a kingdom. So it's important that you just kind of take a back seat, really sit in meditation, and allow that psychic awareness to come through. Because either you or other people in the situation may be a little overzealous. And so it's important to take a step back. And that's not uncommon with the planetary wars and combustions going on. And that's why it's so important to step into spirit and open up those channels of communication so that you can successfully and gently assert what needs to be done so that nothing overzealous or ambitious can happen. And just ruminate, re-examine your goals, reassess what's going on, and you will be successful, but don't move too fast, especially over the next 2 months, because we have a lot of those planetary wars, combustions, and eclipses coming up. So it's important that this is a stage of planning and tapping into spirit and not a stage where you're making any big decisions or doing anything impulsive. So just ponder carefully what you would like to see when determining your goals and tap into those beautiful psychic gifts, and they will lead you in the right direction. And make sure that you're doing some of that inner healing and wound work as well, because that's a little bit of a block that needs to be channeled, because it could be blocking you a little bit when it comes to channeling your spiritual connection. Okay, it'll open up the phone a little more for you. Hope that was helpful, sweetie.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah. Okay. So what do I get for you? Well, I start off with challenge, difficult situation. So something that that is either related to the job or a past job, and it almost feels like you were you were very much overworked and underappreciated in your last position. And so now you're looking for something to kind of make up for some of the unhappiness that you had from that. It's okay to be angry at the situation, but then you have to release it. You have to say, that was then, this is now. So you're looking for something something much better. And you don't want to approach new situation, with the same old baggage, right? Because it's you want to look at it with fresh eyes, fresh knowledge. So you don't forget to give in to some rest and relaxation, where you can concentrate on, what it is that you want, not what you don't want, what it is that you do want. And this is a fabulous job. This is a fabulous business opportunity. It's an area that I'm familiar with. Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward. I'm so happy with this. And that is going to give you a little bit of that vitality boost, that what you're going to need to approach things on a very very positive note. You want to set yourself up for success. I do agree with Michelle that you probably have some very good intuitive powers. I get creative, inspiration, inspired ideas, inspired ideas. So when you're looking at that, maybe at that difficult situation, and all of a sudden an idea pops into your head in terms of, well, you know what? I could do this or I could do that. Write those down. Those are creative ideas. Those are inspirations. Those are the things that are going to guide you to where it is that that you're ultimately going to end up. Because between the challenging situation and the creative ideas, I get wisdom, experience. So this, if you're thinking that this is happening to you, it's not. It's happening for you. So I think it's a great opportunity to hone some of your intuitive skills, to have faith that your higher self is taking you in the right direction, and that if you sit back and if you just allow things to happen as they're supposed to, that's what's going to give you that vitality boost. That's where you're going to get that aha moment, and things are going to work out exactly the way that they should. So I hope that was helpful to you as well. Fabulous. Okay, and there we go. So we are almost at an hour and a half, and I do have another show at 5, so I have to get ready for that. But thank you to all of you who have. Yes, thank you. My alarm is is going off. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your ideas and whatnot, and your energy with us. It's always nice to be in company of people we enjoy spending time with. And Michelle, oh my gosh, just yeah. We're doing this again on the 19th, and we're going to be. I'll be on Michelle's channel. I'll be joining her on her channel. So there you go. So looking forward to that. Thank you all of you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you later. Okay, bye for now. My goodness.